As we promised, we are back with more fun in the Rochester area today with my buddy Ryan Froh. Just met Ryan on Tuesday at a kind of a what would you call it meeting?
Uh,
Passionate meeting? I don't know.
Kind of like a little network meeting with younger generation business professionals talking about strategies and different ways they do business.
So Ryan, he's kind of a wizard. He's multi-talented. He can make you a T-shirt right here. He actually his business is RF Print and Design. You can see it there, better than on my shirt. As well as this guy is talented online too. The new wave of the internet. He's getting ahead of the game, and he is a website builder, basically, right?
Correct.
How did you kind of get involved in that? Was it kind of something where it interests you? Is almost like a hobby, and now you're helping out businesses in town, or?
Yeah, so it started when my buddy Alex Seidel owns Adrian's Barber Shop right now. He was doing haircuts, and then he was also working this. He did more of the T-shirts and other things like that, promotional products. And I talked to him about it, helped him out a little bit. I got him a lot of clients with that and learned it, and he decided between doing that or barbershops, having his own barbershop, and obviously decided to cut hair. So I decided to tweak my own things around with it, show my creative side, start doing that. So that's been fun. It's been all self-taught, which is a cool thing. I did a semester back in RCTC, and it was graphic design. I learned that on there they had a Linda program, right?
Yeah.
And it was like it was on these big screen TVs, and they taught you, and they had all these kids in there, one professor. And I went home and learned about it, and I saw it was $20 a month. I'm like, screw this, I could do it myself.
Yeah.
So started learning that. I waited about 6 months before I opened to learn the programming and all that stuff, and then just started up in business. So
Yeah, we're going to get to it soon. We're going to kind of pick apart my website. Excuse me. I just made one a few weeks ago. You were a few weeks late from me meeting you. 'Cause I spent all this money to make my own website, and now he's going to pick it apart, which is great. I mean, I know it's not that strong. It can be more flashy, and we're going to look at that very soon. But before we do that, as we mentioned, RF Print Design, Ryan, if you need, again, any website building, go to Ryan. We're going to give, in the caption there in this Facebook Live, I put his Facebook page, and I'm hoping it links to that, the correct one. If it doesn't, we'll fix it after this live. Also, I wanted to give you guys the opportunity. I'm wearing these bracelets today. Kind of a tragic story that happened probably about a few weeks ago up in Wright County, Minnesota. A little girl, and I forget her age, but she developed a kidney disease and E. coli, and she ended up dying from it. The Minnesota Health Department right now is looking into if it had to do with them going to a petting zoo. So it's every parent's kind of worst nightmare if that's the case. Again, still under investigation. And the young brother of her, thankfully is doing okay and is now out of the hospital. But tomorrow they're actually laying her to rest. And if you want to support the family, they have so many medical costs. Just message me. We'll get you a bracelet. It's $3 a bracelet. We can get you an adult bracelet or a youth bracelet, and all the proceeds go to the family. So kind of a tough deal, but everybody's kind of behind this family. And, yeah, if you'd like to donate and help out the family and get a bracelet, just message me on Facebook. So let's get to the dirt here. First off, if I'm somebody that's like, I want a website, what do I have to do? I have to buy some stuff, right? Let's start square one. Where do I got to start?
So basically, when I started doing this, I realized a lot of small businesses, you got a lot of startup costs, and then I wanted to make it reasonable priced for the people in the smaller businesses, such as yourself. They're like, I want to get a website that looks professional, but I don't want to spend a whole bunch of money on it,
Right.
So when you start off, you find a domain, which is just, www.google.com, that's just a domain, what you want it to be under. And then it's key to have it be under your business, not add stuff to it or try not to, because then when people go to Google it, if there's stuff in there, if it's like Karsen Forsman MN, then they're not going to put the MN in there, you know. So
the link, you mean?
yeah, the link.
Right.
So
right now my website is it's KarsenForsman.com. It's simple. It's my name.com.
Yeah, so that works, and then you buy a domain, and then
And a domain is a link. For people that don't know what a domain is, it's a link.
Yeah, it's just pretty much your link, what you put in your computer.
It's what you own.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then usually it's like 1 year, 2 years, whatever you put on there. And then also, once you do that, you want to find out either if you want to build your own, which I see a lot of small businesses and big businesses doing it. And it's my job to go in there, show them what I can do compared to them.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing, I think our biggest asset is time. So something that would take you a few weeks, maybe a month, would take me 4 days or a week. So you got to factor that in there with time wise. And then you can there's plenty of places out there like Wix. That's like a plug-and-play thing. You use that for your blog. There's GoDaddy. I've worked with a lot of people that do that just buy it, and their website's free, and they pay for hosting or whatever.
So hold on 1 second. Excuse me, guys. Sorry about that. Can I buy it? So I bought my domain off GoDaddy. Can I buy a domain off Wix or off WordPress? Oh, you can? Okay.
Yeah, so you can buy your domain off pretty much. There's several different places where you can have your domain at. It's just for pricing wise, it doesn't really matter what place you get it from. Okay. When I meet with a client, I just buy them off the place where I'm starting to build a website. Okay. So that way I can just have it. I don't need to transfer it, because when you transfer it over to start building, it takes time to do that. So that way I can just use it right away.
You need a domain.
Yep.
What's next? Hosting, all that good stuff.
Yeah, your domain, and then the next process is, what are you going to do? Are you going to build it yourself? Or are you going to have somebody like me do it? And it's just like what's in your budget. So that's why when I work with small businesses, I pretty much say, hey, what's your budget? So that way I can show them what I can do, all the details I can put in there. Because at the end of the day, I want your business. I don't want just one job and then you're stressing about money and you can't do it. Yeah. So I either try to do what I can, or I pretty much refer you to say, hey, Wix is a good starting spot. If it's a small budget, if you want to do it that way and go that route. There are some pros and cons to whatever you do. Like with yours, when we were talking, how it's responsive. I looked up a stat yesterday that said 60% of people first time they go on your website, it's on their mobile phone.
Right.
So
everybody's on their phone.
Yeah, and then it's tablet after that at nighttime, when people do their shopping and stuff like that. So I think it's huge, especially in an e-commerce site where you build your business online and end up selling it through that. You got to have it mobile friendly, because that's where people are going to be at to buy it.
And in your opinion, what website developer, Wix, whatever, in your opinion, what's the best for mobile?
The best for mobile for me, I believe, is WordPress, because there's a website on there that is called All Responsive that pretty much shows what your site looks like on desktop, laptop, tablet, iPhone, Android phones. So WordPress automatically helps you to do that. So it just resizes it. You can always, edit it around. The reason why I like WordPress, I started off as Wix. I started off doing that because it was easy, simple. You can do,
a lot of people do.
Yeah. So, and then I realized, I was like, okay, I outgrown this. I want to do more. So with WordPress, the beautiful thing, like nowadays in the age, like you don't have to take 40 hours a week to build a website. Right. It doesn't take you that long unless you really want to. I mean, if there's big enough clients where you got to do coding, and all that stuff.
Can you code?
I can code. I'm learning hard coding, which is actually like building like what the social media movie.
Oh,
like,
social network.
Yeah.
Facebook, yeah.
So like I'm starting to learn that. I'm more learning about apps. So popular thing that people are doing out on the West Coast are they're meeting with you. They're like, hey, you can get you a website, we can get you an app, or we can get you both, because that's what it's going to turn into. Is people are going to have apps. So right now we're at Pasquale's. So one of the first apps I'm going to do for him is going to be like ordering online, showing their menu, so that way it's just a touch of the button and you can come pick it up, whatever. It's ready when you're here. You don't have to wait because nobody has patience nowadays, you know. So
You should do like after somebody orders, you should create like a video of Pasquale saying "Thank you for your business" or something like that. That'd be cool.
yeah, exactly, because that's the kind of guy he is. He
Yeah.
wants to thank you no matter what, whether when you come in here or you order something, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it pretty much goes into what's most time saving. So what helps you out with what helps me as a business is my time. So there's a lot of plugins that you can buy and that people already wrote and did an amazing job at it. Why am I going to try to recreate that and take my time when I could just buy it and put it into your site, you know? So
We got a quick question here from Bob. Thanks, guys, for your questions. We appreciate it. Hold on one second here. We got a few. So Bob asks, once you get a website made, how do you get the website to the right people that wants to buy your product or craft that you do? So let's say you know what I mean? Is it a social media thing, or is it, can you maybe reach more people like Facebook? You can promote it by Facebook. If you didn't know that, you can promote yourself by paying money. Really, you can. But how do you promote your website after you buy it?
So
Go ahead and grab this.
one thing that I do is Google Analytics is a huge thing. It shows the amount of time people spend on your website. You know, it shows everything. What people are viewing it on. It's their phone, their laptop, desktop. But in order to reach your certain demographic, I feel you sponsor it on Facebook. You show, you know, I mean, that's what I would do. You know, I would promote my website, put it on Facebook, any social media, and, you know, on there you can spend, you know, $20 and you can reach whatever demographic you want to on there, and reach that in Rochester, outside of Rochester. You can hit different places. So I think social media I always recommend with people.
Right.
Is,
I mean, it's huge now.
yeah.
Everybody uses it now.
exactly.
Another question from Bob is, how expensive is it to have, again, you kind of listed you didn't go through in depth the criteria that you have, but how expensive is it to have someone like yourself come in, and let's say Bob has this business, he wants to finally get a website. What are you going to charge him? And then are you going to help him promote it, or does he have to promote it himself?
Yeah, so with me, when I sit down with people, my prices range anywhere from $500 to about $2,000, you know, depending on how much work it is. E-commerce sites are a lot more work because I like to Photoshop the pictures so it looks really nice, looks clean, professional. But it just depends on what you want.
Yeah.
So with that being said,
Hey, Timmy, freeze up.
he said, get out to the people. So pretty much.
Will you help him promote it?
Absolutely. So Linda, perfect example. Linda with optical flare vision, right? I sat with her for 2 hours the other day. She's been in business for years, and I said, you know what, you should start plugging in social media. And then I make suggestions with that, and you know, say, hey, you got to have a Facebook page, you got to have Instagram, you know. Start saying you know, a lot of people don't know she fixes glasses in there, you know. Start saying that.
Yeah, I mean,
talking about how she accepts males insurance. You know, it's just more of what you do and how you can plug that into social media, and putting that in your website helps out a lot with that. So that way they can keep track of you, because I feel like blogging is now social media, unless you're doing video blogging like this, and then, you know, keeps you up to date with stuff. If you got specials going on, different things like that, hit every network you can, because first off, it's free. Second off, you can hit different people that use stuff.
Yeah. Thanks for mentioning that. Yeah, we are at Pasquale's right now, guys. It's New York style pizza in Rochester, downtown, right by the People's Food Co-op. I've known Pasquale ever since he opened. The first day he opened, I was here. I did a Facebook Live with him. Great guy, very giving to the community, gets involved. I think he's got something coming up with the Children's Museum as well. I'm going to have him on my segment that I'm doing here next week or the week after. We're going to set something up. But again, just a giving guy, and I know you've made a relationship with him, and I know you just mentioned you're going to be doing some business with him as well to promote his online shopping, product, delivery, that kind of thing. All right, Ryan, let's get into the nitty gritty. So you have my website up right now, and I'm gonna take you guys off the tripod here just so I can show you. let's get into it. What works for this website that I made on my own, which was I don't know about cost efficient, but it was cheap.
Yep, exactly.
Because I didn't have to hire you, right? Which you're not that expensive either. I'm not saying you're expensive, but I saved $500. Let's just say.
But that's what a lot of people do. They say
Right.
I'm doing myself.
So let me just flip this camera here, and kind of just get into the nitty gritty here. So this is my website, and go ahead.
All right. So what I noticed here is, you got a nice photo that just represents, you, what you're doing. It would be nicer if it took up more of the screen, if it just showed like a full shot, took up the whole screen.
Didn't get cut off, you mean?
Yes, exactly. And then one thing I don't know if a lot of people know this, but if you just minimize the window like this, it automatically shows you what it's going to be like in mobile view.
Is that just on MacBook, or is that?
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's in. You can do it in everything else. With MacBook, that's all I use. So I mean, I'm not really too sure about that. But there is a website that I will show you that shows everything in responsive view, which means mobile, tablet, laptop. But as you can see with this, all you see is the camera. You don't even see, who you are except right here in a smaller picture.
Right.
So what I would kind of do is me personally, I would take this slide right here and create a video for you. What you're doing. You can even.
Well, that's my video right there. That's what I do. If you click on that, that's
right
me.
here.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes.
I would love this to pop up.
Yeah. So let me show you. This is a YouTube video that he has that talks about him, right? It's pretty much like.
That's my resume tape.
Yep.
That's me.
So we'll go back real quick. So one big guy that is king of social media and all this other stuff with networking and marketing is Gary Vee. So what I suggest with your own personal brand is having a video like this. So it has a play button right here. It's eye-catching, and then goes right into it. And then it just shows whatever YouTube videos you want to put in there. To me, that's a little bit more eye-catching. And then also, one of the cool things is when you're on your phone, it does the same thing. It doesn't cut them off, doesn't cut anything else off. It just formats to whatever you're on. So let's go back to this. So yeah, about me. Will has your background, talks a little bit about what where you came from. Baseball guy, huh?
Yeah. Go Huskies.
Who you are, things you love. Yeah, that's all cool. Like, I think that's a huge part. I always recommend having a story because they want to, you
People know who you are, where you came from.
Exactly, and they feel comfortable. Once you're just genuine, you say everything in here. Where you come from, whatnot. So that's a good part. And one of the benefits is it does fit to this. So I do like how this moves up, and it kind of has that little effect to it, and then your toolbar comes down. So that's pretty cool. One thing I would suggest is have some effects in here. So have it be my background. This is all faded out, right?
Yeah.
You start scrolling, this comes up. Then you go on to this thing. This scrolls up. Because I just realized, like, nowadays when they have a short attention span. So they're going to be like,
everybody's impatient.
Yeah, quickly want to read this, quickly want to read this, quickly want to read that. Just cool if it just scrolls up as you go down. Contact info, perfect, has everything on here. Facebook, does that go right to your Facebook site? One thing I do recommend is...
I thought it opened in a new window.
Yeah, that's one thing I would recommend is always, when you have something on here, just open it up in a new window. So that way you can click on all these different things. It is good that you have all this in here. Me personally, I like having little
icons, but they didn't have them, or I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, so that's one of the things is a lot of people get frustrated because you can't do everything you wanted, so it's a lot easier if you just give me the links and just do it. So this is good on here. You want to drop a message, having a subscriber thing right here. So this is good.
That's just, I mean, I don't have a business, so it's just.
Yeah, it just shows where you're at in Rochester. So me personally, I'm gonna go to your blog real quick. So you see how small? Okay. So this picture, I'll put this up here. Have this.
Yeah, it wouldn't let me though.
Yep. And that's the thing. You know, you can't do a lot of things with it. Have a picture up here. Have the blog underneath here. So that way it's not too busy in one screen. It's cool you have this. And then this takes you to Wix.
Yeah.
So a lot of people think that like I created this or something, you know, but it has to do with, you can read the website up here. It's from Wix, so you can read a lot of stuff. Where a lot of it is plugins that they like put in. So if you want to do like a meeting, you know, if you want to have a meeting set up on here where you book all your meetings on here, you certainly do that with other things. But yeah, it's cool. So you have this picture, a little bit of you know, talk about it, and then some of this stuff on here that just shows the background of it. So yeah, it's a good vlog
It's just a
video.
plain background. I wish it would have like, you know, maybe I could, you know, this had to do with the kind of the stationary astronauts. It would have been cool if I could have just put the whole astronaut blue in the background. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So so I mean, I would have a little bit more content in here and just have it kind of eye catch. So here, I'll show you one I did for Kramer Construction that is here doing their stuff over in Pass Falls. They're doing an event venue over there. So
this is cool. Look at this. So you do businesses, obviously. We already went over that, right?
yep. So
Just one example.
this is what loads up. So it's kind of a little eye-catching thing. It just has little effects to it. And then it goes down to your menu. Little brief thing about, you know, what they are. Little mission statement. And then I like to do a lot of stuff in Photoshop. So as you can see on like your blog back here, it just has a picture of you and that. So this kind of, if you just put a color in it, it kind of makes this pop more and still is subtle. Little counter that just shows. This is always, you know, I love doing
I
these.
like these effects. So when you're like scrolling, like he just all of a sudden like popped up there.
Yeah, see, so I'll show you. Just redo it. So it's just little subtle effects, like this, and then
Yeah, like look at that. That's so cool.
he just comes up when you're there. And then so one thing that I do like is when this just started off as a blank portrait, you know, where it's just him and a white background, right?
Yeah.
I like cutting this out so that way it blends in the background, so it's not just a white thing around it. Just to me, it looks a little bit more professional. Just shows his work, and then Pure Rock Studios comes up.
Did you make that?
What?
This picture.
No, I didn't do these pictures.
Okay.
He had these pictures provided already, so I can do it this way, and I can scroll through it to scroll through them this way as well.
That's cool.
Or it just kind of lets you
Shows
go
them
through.
what they do. You know?
Yep, little logo right down there, and then where we're at right now, I gotta change this around because they remodeled it.
Yeah.
It just shows, you know, virtual stuff, what they've done, and then some residential properties as well. So then it just shows how you get in contact with them, email, where they're located, and their
This is
phone number.
legit.
So, and then you have a little thing at the bottom where if you're like, you know, if you want to be like, hey, I got this project going on, or, you know, for me, it's like, hey, I want a website to do, you know, just send all the info in for me, and then I can respond to it that way. And then at the bottom, just takes you to where you want to be.
Yeah. Right.
So that's one of the things of just a simple one-page website.
I kind of like that though. I kind of like that where if I have, let's say, are we good now on there?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say, you know, I obviously have a blog. I kind of would like that where it wouldn't go to a new page. It would just drop me down. It's a one-page website. I like that.
Yeah, it's big nowadays. With, you know, they don't want to have 20 million pages. Probably won't go through all of it. So.
Let's get into let's promote you a little bit. Let's get into the nitty gritty here. Why? Because you're not the only, you know, web developer in town. Why should somebody use you? What else can you provide that maybe is it the experience that you can provide with the client, or why should somebody choose you?
So the biggest thing with me is, like I stated before, I try to be most cost effective with businesses. So I try to build them a nice professional website, and using templates and using other things, it's a lot more time effective for me. So that's what website is based on, is time, how long it takes you. So with me, I'm more of a, I want to do your business cards too. I want to do your T-shirts. I want to do, stuff like that. So I'm more of a, I want to do more business with you. And that's what mostly happens whenever I meet with somebody. They'll be like, hey, I want some shirts. Then they're like, hey, I want to do this. I want to do this. So I try to fit in the new age of social media with your site and try to go over that with you. I'm not just like, I've seen a lot of website places where like you got to provide me the pictures, you got to provide me information, you got to provide me all this. So this website that I showed you with Kramer, I wasn't provided anything. I met him after I made this, so I kind of just used my creative side, put it together. Met with him in Pasquale, and he was like, "Oh, I love it," because he just did a Wix website, to start off with. And so, and then I also work with your budget, like if I try to tend to go towards the smaller businesses, people are starting off, help them out with that, and kind of build that with them. And then it's just the overall experience. Like I make sure that they're happy, everything works good. I haven't had any complaints about anything. And that's one of the great things of website. If there's something that's wrong with it, I fix it, Yeah, so it's kind of basically just building a relationship with the customer, figuring out what they want, explaining to them the benefits and certain things that you can do with it. Going over that, I think, helps out a lot, and just the small business part.
Going into, do you have to get going soon?
No,
okay. Going into your field and the people that maybe surround you in the city, could somebody almost, or have you heard of maybe horror stories where they went with a guy or a girl who makes websites and they just had bad product and they paid a crap ton of money, or can that happen?
Absolutely. So one of the biggest things is the big thing with social media now, you don't have to sit down and meet with somebody. I can work with somebody in New York, they just provide me the information and do stuff like that. So I've come across people that have paid for websites, they didn't get it done, they just didn't do it for them. They paid the money up front. So one of the biggest things is people will ask for a deposit.
Yeah.
And I would also try to ask around instead of going with one person, even including me, because I stand behind what I do. Good price, good product, good to go. And there's people that do outsource them, so they pay somebody to have a website, and then they don't do any of the work, and then they just charge on top of that, So there'll be people that do that, and so it costs a lot more money for them. So with me, I'm a single one-man band, so I don't have high overhead. I don't have a building, So I try to limit my overhead costs, so that way I can provide you with good service and then good pricing. Yeah, but I've heard several different things where like people build the site and then they want to change it and they're like, oh, that would be extra amount of money, and they don't tell them about it. So in my invoices I always put prices for redesigning or maintenance fees. So say if you want me to update your YouTube all the time, I don't want to try to put hidden costs in there or anything now with that, but yeah.
We talked about this, I think, last night. We were at the Loop last night, and we talked about how, let's say, older generation business owner who is successful, but he might have a website, he probably doesn't. I think you were talking about an older gentleman. You had a conversation with him yesterday. Why should somebody like him, who's already successful, but could even be probably more successful if he had a website and he's online in the new age of social media and all that good stuff, why should somebody, let's say they're watching right now and they're thinking about a website, why should they invest in somebody like you to help them build their business?
So one of the big things that I see now is e-commerce websites just booming, because you see, think of Amazon. how much money did they grow the last few years, you know, because you see it all the time where you'd rather be at home with your family and you're shopping online with something, you know, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's huge with that because, number one, you don't have inventory. You don't have a whole bunch of inventory that's sitting around, and you got to kind of risk if it's all going to sell or not. Number two is you don't have to have, you can do it out of your home, you know? You essentially can just have stuff there to make it and send it out if you want to. So you don't have that overhead as well. And plus, it's way more convenient for people. So one big thing is Uber. Huge thing, right?
Yeah.
They don't have any overhead, you know? Self-contracting drivers out. You have an app where they paid all their money in their app and their website or whatever. And, you know, that's what they spent their money on. And it's new technology, it's cool, it's fun, it's affordable because they don't have those overhead expenses they have to pay for, you know. So I think it's huge with, you know, you're in business. If you've been in business this many years, you're doing something right. But here's a suggestion if you want to grow, you know, that type of thing. Link in your social media, link in different things, how-to videos, be genuine about it, you know. Kind of like stuff with you, with your news, you know. I was watching it yesterday, and I was seeing all the comments of people.
We had 85 comments or something.
I mean, I've watched the news 3 nights in a row, and I haven't watched the news in years, you know. and I'm just like, it's engaging. So it makes
It's a
people.
new way to engage.
Yeah, so it makes people like, it's a huge Facebook group, pretty much. It's like a group together that are discussing stuff about topics, and it's engaging for them to feel like they're part of it, you know. And then they see the behind the scenes stuff. So I've realized a lot of, like, if you're real with what you're doing and you show all that stuff, you know, like you dabbing and all that, you know, I mean, it makes people laugh and it's entertaining, you know.
Well, it's funny because you thought, and people think this, where, like, so I'm an anchor right in town here and on the news or whatever, and people think in between commercial breaks we literally just sit there.
Yeah.
It's great waiting, but so it's cool though to give people that, like, you know, after the break we kind of, you know, relax, and we're talking about, you know, what did you and your kids do yesterday, or what do you got planned for the weekend, or we chat with you guys on Facebook Live, you know, what do you guys got planned for the weekend, or what do you guys think about this story, or what's your opinion on this, or do you guys have any tips or anything like that? We get tips sometimes on Facebook Live too, things that are going on, maybe breaking news and things like that. But anyways, you have your own website. You got to have your own website, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So, here's the funny thing. I got my own website.
Yeah.
I've been so dang busy doing other people's websites, I have a landing page for mine. It's my guiltiness right there. But I am working on it right now because, of course, I'm very picky with my own website because I want it to be the best in my mind, so that other people are like, oh, this is cool, I want it, you know.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So it has taken me a little bit longer. But yeah, I do have my website. It's rfprintdesign.com. Otherwise, I am on Facebook, Instagram, all the social media networks. I'm trying to get bigger with the social media stuff. But yeah.
If people want to contact you, let's just give you a shout out here. Again, your business is called, give me your business, give me your number, and then give me your email as well. People want to get a hold of you.
Business is RF Print Designs. My name is Ryan Froh, so it just represents me. People get a hold of me on Facebook. I get a lot of Facebook Messenger. Otherwise, you can text me, call me 507-218-5561. And then email is rf@rfprintdesign.com.
$1 million question. Have you ever had a fro?
No.
No? Come on.
No, my friends give me crap about it because, you know, a lot of people think like I'm black with a fro, you know, but it's just my last name, so no.
Hey, I didn't get your background. Are you from Rochester then? And did you go to high school here? And when did you graduate? And did you graduate with some of the guys we know, like Nick and them, or?
Yeah, so I went to school at John Marshall. Graduated in 07. We have our 10-year reunion here this summer, so yeah.
Are you with Tim or younger?
I'm with Tim. So I graduated with Tim. I got a couple other buddies, JV, Josh. I got a whole bunch of friends. We have this huge group message, and we all keep in touch regular basis. We all live here in town mostly. And then I know Nick, he graduated a year before me. I kind of kept in touch with him, you know, past year, talked to him, and he's been having this going on, and just been blowing up. Those guys, Tim, Dave,
Blast Off, right?
yeah, Blast Off, yes. So I've been helping them out with their clothing line, and we've just been doing cross branding with businesses, just growing together. And I think that's one of the biggest things, you know, even talking to you, you know, just growing together, younger generation and building a business is pretty cool. So
huge, and I think Dave Sherini on my poolside talk yesterday brought it up, and how people don't want to coexist anymore. So like, let's say Nick didn't go through you and want to do it all himself. Like, why don't we all work together instead of trying to do our own thing? And that's what I think Nick and your mindset and my mindset and a lot of other people that we know who are passionate about it, they have the same mindset as us. And I think it's huge.
Yeah. And so like the thing is with me is I don't want to spread myself too thin. So when I first started, I'm like, I'll do everything. I'll do signs, I'll do this. And I didn't want to spread myself too thin. So now I have people that are younger starting off, that do a great job with photos, great job with videos. They have drones now, so that way I can, if you're like, hey, I want a drone shot of something coming down on me doing the news or whatever, live somewhere, I'm able to do that, but I'm not going to be doing it because that's not my field, And I think just recommending and cross-branding and working with others, it helps out a lot. Otherwise, you spread yourself too thin, and you go crazy trying to do too much,
Quickly, and I brought this up with Bucky Beeman Tuesday. You're from Rochester. You grew up here. You graduated from JM, and you're seeing what's happening here. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you like the growth? And do you like where this is headed?
So when I first moved here from the cities,
when did you move here?
I moved here when I was like 7th grade, so it was a while ago. I lived up in the cities for a while, and I came down here. The only thing that was open at like 10 o'clock at night was Hy-Vee, right? I go by this. I was like, what factory is this? My mom's like, that's where you're going to school, John Adams, right? And I just wasn't used to it. But now, it was a small town. Now it's just it's so much bigger where a lot of growth is going to come over time. I love it. It's opportunity for me. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to get into business is help out with the growth, help out with the smaller businesses that are going to be moving here, stuff like that.
All right, anything else that I missed, Ryan, that you wanted to touch on? I think we hit, again, how to build a website. Obviously, if you're just tuning in now, like Megan, she missed the whole thing, so we're going to hit post. You're going to be able to go back and scrub through and find it. But again, I just met Ryan on Tuesday at a networking meeting with Bucky Beeman. Thank you, Bucky, for introducing me. I'll have Alex, barber in town. Is it Dido? His good buddy. He owns a barbershop in town. He's a person of the internet. Got 30,000 subscribers on YouTube. Kind of how-to videos.
Yeah, it's just a free how-to, like where me and you can learn how to cut hair. So it's just cool stuff like that.
So we're going to have him next Tuesday. Tomorrow, actually, guys, I'm going to have Brad Trahan. Do you know Brad Trahan? Have you heard of him? Brad Trahan's a local guy. He lives up by Century. He works at Express Employment. He's become one of my good buddies. I've done stories with him and his family. He has a son that is going through some stuff right now, autism. He's very involved in the autism community. Reese is just a great kid. He's nonverbal, so he's on that kind of scale, that kind of spectrum. But we're going to have Brad on tomorrow, guys, and he's going to kind of discuss for us any kind of topic. I'll ask any questions, kind of like what I asked him. I asked him about, obviously, what he does. I also asked him about the growth of Rochester. anything's on the table. So I'll have Brad on tomorrow. We're going to go live at about 10:30 with him, and we're going to talk about, he's a person that's making a strong impact in Rochester. He's going to continue to do so, and we're just going to kind of pick his brain apart. And that's coming up tomorrow, guys. So, Ryan, appreciate it, buddy, as always. I don't know, is Pasquale coming or not? Should we give him a quick shout-out? You want to go grab him quick? All right, hold on. We're not going anywhere yet. We got to get our buddy Pasquale. So, yeah, guys, tomorrow, Brad Trahan. Again, great guy in the community. I've become a family friend of them. Their oldest son has graduated from Lourdes High School. He is going on to the United States Air Force to serve his country. couldn't be more grateful to know this family and to call them a good friend. So, is he out?
He's busy Thursdays.
Busy? Oh, okay. Pasquale is out. All right. So again, thanks Ryan for having me on. Won't be the first or last time we have you on here, so appreciate it, guys. And again, scrub through this video after I hit post, and you can learn how to build your own website.
Thank you.
Thank you.